All right, I think I'm back. Looks like I'm back. Okay, so yeah, I'm back. I'm doing stuff and things, still getting ready for this talk. Trying to answer some questions that some people that got a chance to look at the sample code had about the sample code, get it together, prepare it, do some stuff. And then also talk about some next steps. So actually, I'm going to take my pen and my paper out because I got some notes I want to take specifically on this topic around future enhancements to this code. We want the state machine to own the configuration of itself. That's going to require some delegates. We talked about that. So that's one of the things that I realized going through this is that the state machine itself should actually kind of be more of a thing by itself. But what I'm going to be working on today is something somebody talked about where, well, Rodney, how do you get updates? So a lot of people know me for, well, I don't actually know if people know me for anything, but one of the things that I do uh, is is RX. I like RX. I think RX is great. I know that a lot of people get down on RX. I probably was like gung ho RX all the things early when I started learning it, but as with everything, you find this new thing that you love, and eventually, um, you start to dial back how much you engage. Because you start to learn more things about it. You understand where it fits. Whenever somebody shows you this new hammer, you have a new hammer, and you can use that hammer on every nail that comes up. Doesn't matter if the nail is a screw or, uh, if it's a drill bit. Doesn't matter. We're going to use that hammer because we have a hammer, right? That's how we as developers, for whatever reasons, think. So, um, I've realized now that RX has its place, and specifically with this architecture, what I tried to do, or code sample, really to show an approach. It's not even really a full-on architecture because there's so many holes that I have missing on purpose. Um, Pardon me. The whole concept of it is that I I wanted most of the RX to exist in the view model, and let the view model do all of the RXy stuff, and let the domain kind of use RX in the sense that it's using dynamic data. But I didn't want it to be what I didn't want was static services streaming information into uh, various avenues, right? So on that note, like the way that I'll probably, pardon me, one of the things that I don't want is this like CQRS mediator thing to start projecting, being a singleton, having state, and then projecting state all over the place. I'm not really looking for a redux pattern, although I know that those types of things exist. I know that I could go down that route. I'm trying to avoid it for my own personal reasons. Um, Not because it doesn't work, but more so because I'm trying to very clearly separate responsibilities with this piece of code. Uncommon to demonstrate exception handler. Oh yeah. See. Oh yeah. That's right. I'm leaving myself. I'm leaving myself notes. That should be a note. Note. Yeah. Note. What were you thinking? Yeah. What was I thinking? So a lot of people tell you don't use the to dos, and I'm like, okay. You got to use something, and like code comments don't do it for me. Like if I just see, like if we're in the middle of a code block and I just see a little comment that says this is bad, I'm not gonna pay any attention to that. But you put a big note right here, and this IDE lights up, and it says, "Hey, this guy on this date said this thing that has value to me." Mm. I, we could argue to the day is long what the best practice is, but again, you got to pick practices that work for you, and it works for me, so I use it. Should this be somewhere else? Yeah, that probably should be somewhere else, but that's a tomorrow problem. Um, oh yeah, Yeah, part of this is building this code sample also again. Oh. Womp, 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 womp. Okay, no, that's right. We're doing all that so that we can construct an object of this type. We need to figure out if this actually works. So do we have a unit test for that? Let's go verify that we have a test. This is the add medicine view model. So let's go to features. Let's go to medicines. Let's go to add. All right, given. It'll probably be. Let me see. Let's just look for then validated. I don't see anything. I don't see any nothing that says then validated. Okay, so then let's go do that real quick. Oh, I'm doing more ridiculous stuff these days. You guys are probably, I think I did this live. Yeah, I think I did do this live. I put in these container tests. Ugh. Like I say that like I'm not really like disliking it, but my purest self is like, you shouldn't do that. Okay, yeah, I was about to say that should work just fine. My brain is not completely broken today. All right, so I've got the tests, and I want to say should be in. I kind of want to have like a, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Class, and I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call the file state tests. And I know I'm gonna regret this later, but I've got to do something different than what I'm currently doing. And we could easily go clean up those CS project inclusions that are going to be ridiculously silly. But one of the things that I've been struggling with for years is finding a good way to separate tests so that tests don't get how do you call it? So the tests don't get so test files don't grow to like ridiculous proportions. So you have hundreds and I've got test files in certain code bases where it's like a single file has 3,000 lines of tests, right? And it's just like at a certain point that file is so big you need to break it up so that your cognitive load can look at what it is. So I'm trying this new thing here because this is where I get to play. And I'm trying this new partial class approach. I've not actually been a fan of partial classes in the past, but I talked to some folks about this and I was like, yeah, okay, partial classes do make sense. I use them in a lot of places. So testing the waters, seeing if this helps me organize my tests better. I have a feeling that what's going to end up happening is that this view model fixture is going to end up being the file at the front, and then all the tests are just going to be under the fixture. I have a feeling that's the way this is going to end up, but let's find out. Okay, so should be in failed, should be in failed. Both of those tests go out of here. Should be in loaded. All of those are state tests. And to the point of wanting the state machine to be the thing that sets up the configuration, that means the state machine becomes testable by itself. And when the state machine becomes testable by itself, these state tests immediately get removed from here and go directly to the state machine, right? Well, not all of them. Some of them will, right? Like then we're not testing to see if the view model is in this state. We're testing to see if the state machine is in that state. So, cool. Test passed. Okay, yeah, those tests already passed. What did I break over here? What is broken? Hopefully it's just, nope. Oh yeah, we no longer need that, do we? Project, okay. Oh, should be an initial state. Ooh, come on, you can do it. Oh, you guys can't see the IDE bugging out on me, so when I start doing that, you don't even know. That's why I'm doing it. That's funny. All right. Yeah. What are you doing? Import static members, and then okay, and it already fixed all of them. Okay, cool, perfect. So now my state tests are separate. So I want to add a test specifically for should be. No, I don't want to take failed as an example. We'll take initial and start from there. And code a brand new test at the bottom, and we'll say should be invalid. valid state. And now I'm going to see whether or not the bits work the way I expect them to work, right? Okay, so now this is going to end up being when something happens, we don't know what, we'll probably have to initialize. Okay, we're probably going to need a whole bunch of stuff. Oh man, this is where I kind of want to pass in a fully just ready to go view model for the test, but I'm trying to keep this code sample as straightforward as possible. And get my point across. How far down the rabbit hole can you go? Alright, so should be loaded is going to require stuff. That's going to require... See, so this is where I'm like, I kind of just want to have a... You know what? It's my code. I'll do what I want. Okay. Yep, that's exactly how this is going to go. So now let's go back here. We don't have a folder. We'll do tracker tests. We'll add a folder. This is going to get real janky real quick. So before we do that, let's go ahead and commit some code. Commit some code because we're about to go off the rails. Git status. Git add. Git commit. Feature. Adding scheduled medication to data storage. There we go. Storage. Storage. Whatever. Should be in valid state, so it's set up. So the test should fail. So let's go ahead and fail the test, and then we'll start going from there. Oh. Let's do that. Task.delay. Let's get rid of that one altogether. Alright. Yeah, because my tests are taking way longer to execute. Do that again. Task.delay. We don't have a task.delay, so now if we run it again, it should take milliseconds. A second. That's not bad. 40 tests. Okay. So don't need that anymore, which is about right. So let's pin this tab, and we're gonna create a. I did save. Yeah, I saved. Okay, so let me see if I can't just drop this down. How much screen real estate that takes up? I just want enough to be able to see what branch I'm on, and I'm good. Okay. I know, I'm weird. I just like to see what unsaved commits I have. Nope, look at that. It's not big enough to report out what it did. No changes. Alright, that's fine. Alright. So what I'm going to do, cancel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go create a fake thing. But it's not going to be a fake. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a mock fake. It's not going to be a mock because you won't be able to use it as a mock. It won't. I think it's technically a stub. I'm going to call it a stub, and then someone's going to yell at me later and say, Rodney, that's not what a stub is, because in all honesty, I have tried for years to really draw a line between a fake, a mock, a stub, and all of these things. Like, I get what they are, but it's just confusing sometimes. It's just like, is the stub? I don't know. Let's call it's going to be a mediation. Did we call it? What is the mediation? Yeah, we called it mediation. All right. Sounds like our application has problems, right? Unresolved problems that it needs to get figured out. It actually does, so there's that. Class, let's call it a CQRS stub. It's not a fake because you can't change its behavior. It's legitimately just going to return default data. So I'm going to just call it that for now. I'm going to make it static. No, I can't make it static because it can't. Eek. All right, there we go. So now I can do that. I can implement the missing members. Oh no, that won't work. That won't work, will it? I can't. Okay, so the way the mediator is set up, I can't actually do that without stubbing out everything, and that actually doesn't make sense. So I'm going to come back to that later and figure out how to stub the mediator. But one of my smart friends already has an answer. Oh, I guarantee you I already know what someone's going to tell me. Someone's going to tell me, oh, Rodney, why don't you just wire it up the same way you would and use the container in your test? That's what I don't want to do, but it's probably the right thing to do, so whatever. I'm starting to get away from this whole purist mentality that I've had for. I don't really know that I've ever had a purist mentality. I've been around a lot of purists that do things for purist's sake. Um, I don't know how much of the actual behavior I've adopted, but I've definitely have been around it enough to know what it looks like, and I don't know. I think I want my tests. I think as long as I get a consistent result from my test, I care more about that than all of the nuance. So certain things I won't do, right? Like I won't save data to disk in a unit test, and I won't pull data from a disk in a unit test, right? Why? Because IO, people say, oh, well, the IO doesn't matter. I've cut like minutes off of unit test execution, minutes off of unit test execution by removing the dependency to go to the file system, get JSON and bring it back, and then deserialize it, right? Like, or serialize it. Like, you you don't realize how much that stuff how much time that takes until you start profiling your tests. Like again, we talk about like these metrics aren't just metrics for the sake of metrics, right? Like how fast are the tests executing? We went and looked and saw some of our tests were taking 3 minutes to execute. So we're like, oh, we got to fix these test suites immediately, right? Like this is too long. It's too much time. Now our tests were taking 25 to 30 minutes to run. Okay, so you know then if it becomes a, oh well, these tests take too long to run, then okay, well then maybe we look at them as integration test suites and we only run them, you know, once we pull you into the integration branch, or I don't know how it works, right? Like, but there's got to be a silver lining. There's got to be a place where we can meet in the middle and figure something out. So I want the store to be valid. I need a CQRS bit. I don't know that I want to get this from. I don't know if I want to do all that. So I guess I'll just copy this pasta right here real quick for now, because this is the minimum that I need in order to do the thing. And then I'll figure out how to make it sexier later. Hey. There we go. Okay. So now this at minimum initializes the thing and provides some data back. So let's go ahead and, no, I just want the failed test. Just give me the failed one. Should be valid. So not when constructed. So when given scheduled medication. Ooh. No. That's not actually what we're given, is it? So okay, let's look at the behavior. So when selected, okay, so when selected properties are valid, okay, there we go. We'll just copy that. When given selected properties are valid, when properties changed, then it should be in the valid state. I know that's still not accurate. Eek. I know that's still not accurate, but it gets us closer. Okay, so all these things have to change. We verify that the properties are correct. We create a new thing. Oh, this needs to be filled out. What is the default? Default is none, so we're gonna give it none for now. Medication is gonna have to. We're gonna figure all that out. Okay, this is what we're actually gonna end up doing today, and then we're gonna hopefully get to the point where whether we do it on screen or not, but I'm gonna get to the point where this screen responds, prints a nice toast message that says, "Hey, I added it," and then the page is going to release itself from the view of the user and go back to the schedule screen. So that's gonna be my focus for today. Yeah, that's what we're gonna try and get done. We've been at this for a couple of minutes now. How long? Okay, we've only been at it for about 20 minutes. So yeah, I think we can get this. I'm going to be optimistic. All right, so yeah, we got our interaction here now. So if it failed, we're going to need a success interaction. We'll get to that. First things first, we've got to make this state test pass, right? So like we've got to get it to the valid state so that the button is clickable. So the save button is clickable. Oh, do we even have this one? Let's find out, right? Oh, that's another test that we can do. Go back to the tests. Here we go. So another test we can do is, oh yeah, I'm also gonna have to change these test names so that they have the ViewModel name in it, so that way it's not so awkward when I go to look for it. Okay, that's the thing we're gonna have to do. Sorry, brain. All right, so ViewModel is gonna do all that. So that means that we would have to do test test dot selected name equals name 1 2 3. I think this is gonna be selected dosage. OG. There we go. New dosage. What do we have to give it? We have to give it a type. Dosage type is going to be chewable. Yeah, sure, why not? And the dosage weight. Oh, do I actually have a proper object for that? Dosage. Oh, I do. Oh, dot grams. Oh, and I need an amount. Womp womp. 100 grams. That's a lot. Let's do milligrams. There we go. Okay, so we've got a new dosage. What else do we need to do? Selected recurrence equals recurrence daily. And then dot selected time equals what is that? That's just a local date time, or is it an offset date yet? Oh, this is date offset time still? I thought we swapped everything to use no to time. Ooh, I broke it. Let's find this. Offset date time. Yeah, that's what it should be. So we didn't fix that for this. Why didn't we do that? There's probably a reason why I didn't do this. This is at the view layer. I don't have anything in the. I don't have it bound to anything in the. Okay, well. That might end up being a converter on the screen if we do it that way. That way everything south of the screen has this. Let's see what breaks. Nope. Method group, functor, blah, blah, what? Properties not valid because it's expecting date time offset, but it needs offset time. Now all that jives. Get rid of those warnings because we don't care about warnings. All we care about is selected time is going to be. Can we do offset time? Like, oh wait. I just do daytime offset dot now dot to offset date time. All right, so now based on this, when we initialize it and we set all these things, the state should be valid, right? So let's go ahead and yay! I'm so good at this. Add command can execute should be true. Wow. Okay. Offset. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up doing that here real soon. There's a pattern that I've started using in my or that was there in place. Let me not take credit for it. That was there in place when I got to my day job, where we have like a static thing that gets used across all unit tests for just a default value. And I think I'm gonna actually implement that here only because like that change, right? Like if this is an irrelevant value, this value doesn't matter. It doesn't like who cares? This could be the ISO date. As long as it's the same value or reference, that's all that really matters. So why have to go through my code base and change it everywhere? I can just change it in one place, right, and be done with it. That's big brain stuff. So ooh, there's a dosage fixture. Oh, if we'd have been paying attention, we wouldn't even have bothered to create a dosage in that test. Let's go back to that test right now. So we don't want to again, right? Use things that will right reduce the number of usages of this constructor, right? There should one usage of the constructor in the fixture. We're good to go, right? Versus all over the unit tests. Then you make a breaking change to the constructor and add a parameter, and then the whole world goes crazy. My father is. Cool. So here we are. There we go. Everything seems right there. So now if I go back to my unit tests and I run it. Oh, haha, now I am green. Okay. Okay, so git add. All right, so we tested the valid state. So now we should be able to. Oh wait, but we already have a test that verifies the. Okay, so that means that the. Okay, so we have. Sorry, stepping back, we have a test that verifies the. We have a test that verifies the can execute, right, of the add command. Okay, so we have one current select. Okay. Um, I'm thinking. Okay, yeah, that won't work because. Okay, so we would have to write. I'd have to write a custom extension method for validity on. I don't want to do that. Okay, sorry. I'm looking at the code and thinking about different improvements that I could make that I probably shouldn't make, and I should stay on task. So we have something that says that the add command uh, state has to be valid. We have a test for that already, so that's good. So now we need to. So now what we're going to want is after the add command comes back from doing its thing, which I think it's already implemented. Yes, we explicitly just execute the bits, and as long as that comes back, once the add command comes back, we will either call. Oh no no no! Yeah, perfect. Ooh, am I gonna be spicy and try that? I'm not gonna try it on camera because I haven't written that code in quite some time. But I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna end up writing a retry with back off on the add command potentially. I don't know if this is gonna work this way yet, but what I am gonna do is when the add command comes back, or if the add command times out, after the timeout period, I'm going to have it send it to the failed state. But if it succeeds and returns, then I'm gonna have it go to the. I'm gonna have to probably create a new state that says complete. Yeah, I like to keep with state machine semantics sometimes because it makes my life easier, right? So this is like the complete state or the finished state. So then that would be a thing. So after it's okay. So we need to configure valid. So valid would go from dot permit. Oh, that's right. Permit if doesn't support task based concerns. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters actually. So we're going to permit it to go to add. Oh, oh, validated save. Yeah, so from, yeah, right. So from valid, it's going to save, and that save is going to put it in complete, but there should be an if condition, and that's where I can put my own. Oh, sweet. I haven't seen this. I think the API surface changed, and I just haven't seen it. Now it lets me put in. Okay, so okay. I just don't use that one as often, but it does exist, and I just never paid attention to the fact that it exists. That there's a tuple of guards that you can add right there, which means you could write an entire series of guards. Ooh, that's spicy. Think about that. How to write and test individual guards. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Okay. So permit if save complete, and we'll go do that. But that's the weird part is no. If it's valid and we save, it can go to completed. This gets weird because what I would really want to do. Okay, I'm gonna come off this for a second. And I'm gonna just change this. I'm gonna pass it no guards, and I'm gonna change it from permit if to permit. And then I'm gonna also say that if I'm valid and I go to save, I can go to failed. Right. So saving, the active saving can go to complete or can go to failed. Okay, so far all of this seems pretty jazzy. And somebody was talking to me about snapshot testing for my logging, and I'm like, I think that's gonna happen. Well, not somebody, Matthias from the Cake team was talking about it, and he was like, yeah, you should. Well, and also former .NET Foundation or board member. Um, but yeah, anyway, he was talking to me about snapshot testing the other week, and I'm like, I should probably get into that stuff. Um, you know what? Yeah, okay, so the back command, maybe I should wire this. So this is where it's like the architecture parts makes me want to like abstract all the things and make it like no brain stuff, but I think that's one of the things I'm going to note here. I'm just going to put a note. Um, yeah, if this approach catches, yeah, right. So like the main thing about this talk is like don't be too dogmatic up front about trying to create all this amazing architecture. I've done it. I've failed. It does nothing good for a lot of people, right? But instead, as you're, and this is the other thing that we don't do is as our architecture grows, we kind of trim the hedge, right? Like if the bush is growing in the backyard, you don't just let the bush grow wild, right? Like you have to trim it, and it's kind of like a bonsai tree, right? That you want to take care of it. You got to sculpt it, but we don't do that. We just let things grow, and then hey, we want to stick this feature in that touches all of these common things, and then you realize that all your common things don't actually have a common ancestry or a common base point or a common composition that it can tie into, and you have to spend time fixing it. Ugh. Yeah, okay, so that's calling that. That's calling that. Um, Vert am I missing? Okay, so the disposal. Let me check this view model out. So do we actually have that stuff wired up? I still need to wire. Oh, no, no, no. I have it wired up. The dispose. This, where does this? Usages of dispose were not found. Okay. Why is that? Oh, oh, I know why. Because I need to be able to destroy this thing. And if I do this, I just want to see what this does. Disposable. Abstract class. Remove disposable from the list of interfaces. It's already implemented. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so that means that when I destroy the page, let me go make sure that this is wired up. Let me make sure that where's the last place I left off? Is my code compiling? Do I have failing tests? All right, all my tests are passing. All my code at least compiles. What's the get diff? Oh. Added. All right, so we add the complete state, and what the complete state is gonna do is nothing magical. Like it's gonna fire off an interaction, and then dismiss the page. Is all it's gonna do. So actually, while we're thinking about that, let's go to. Well, oh no, what were we gonna do? We were thinking about something. Oh, it was the view model. We're gonna see whether or not the thing is wired up to be disposed of. Just because I looked at the disposal, and I was like, I don't think I've done that yet. I should probably do that. Go to features. Features goes to components. Screen base. Reactive content page. Content is defined. Is not referenced. You must reference to assembly. It's there. Trust me, it's there. Ryder's drunk. It's okay. If I weren't on screen, I might be with Ryder. Let's see. Oh, we don't. Okay, I don't have the prism piece wired up. So let me actually. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. We can do it this way. I destructible. What? What? Okay, now I'm confused, folks. Let me do a .NET clean. Let me see what's going on here. This should be yelling because I just added an interface to the end of the thing. So when I do destructible from prism, do I already have a destroy method? And I do not have a destroy method. Okay, this is getting weird, man. All right, let's just do this then. Let's grab that. Let's go down here where the rest of the inclusions are. Let's do that. Let's do, nope. That's going to be that's going to be destructible, because you're going to sit here and watch me not be able to type today. This doesn't have any parameters whatsoever, although maybe it shouldn't. And then this is just going to call destroy with no parameters. And then we're going to do this. Well, should we do this too? Copy document. No, we don't want to copy the documentation from the base. We want to add an inherit doc. Okay. This right. This chore commit is going right in the middle. Oop, This chore commit is going right in the middle of everything. Let's just do this. But it's okay. I do stuff like this all the time. Convert this to implicit implementation, cast, destroy. We should be able to call we should be able to do protected virtual void destroy, right? That should be doable. That shouldn't be a big deal, right? Yeah, okay. And I'm going to do a private void teardown, because that's really what we're doing here. We're tearing down all the excess junk, we're going to call destroy here. Yes, I know. And I know everyone's like, Rodney, that's too much. Why are you doing all that? I know. Trust me, I know. Only reason why I'm doing it is this. Because now I can do... Oh, do I have garbage on the page? I do not have... That's what I need on the page is some garbage. Garbage. I know I get sidetracked with different stuff, but like if I'm like because I don't have a set of requirements in front of me, like if I don't pay attention to it while it's right in front of me, I won't get to it. Protected. Composite disposable. Composite disposable. Garbage equal get equals new composite disposable. Target type new. Gets the garbage for disposal. That's so funny. All right, now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ensure that whatever else happens, that I at minimum dispose of what's supposed to get disposed with the page. Now, this is the other thing I can do. I can also do this piece, which I'm just going to copy and paste. So now I'm going to explicitly do AI destructible. Ooh, nope, wrong one. Come on. You can do it. Destructible. Oh, I see. No, there we go. I disposable. Ha! We don't care. Lowercase view model, that should be fine. And then we do this, and we grab this, and we do dot dispose. Or, weird thought, no, I don't want to do that there. Wouldn't want to do it in the initialize. I wouldn't want to do it in the on appearing. Garbage. Contents of collection garbage is never updated. Okay, we'll get to that. We could dispose of the view model for the developer, or so they don't have to worry about it when they look at it, right? We can automatically wire up the view model to the garbage disposal. That's a thing we can do. Like we can easily do this dot dispose with garbage. That just seems like extra work though. We can do it in the on appearing or the on initialized where we initialize the view. Yeah, you know what? That's actually probably the way I want to do that. Now that I think about it. In the initialization, right? When we are yeah, okay, here we go. In the initialization, we initialize the thing. Okay, yeah, here's where I want to do it. So what I want to do here is I want to do this. I want to say view model dot dispose with garbage. What's your problem? This call is reachable on all platforms. Is only supported on 14 and later. What version am I on? Why are you telling me this? Oh, are you trying to tell me that it's... What? What am I supposed to do about this? Okay, so let's go look at what version of the stinky platform we're using. Watch, it's going to be 14.2 and I'm going to be really, really surprised. Oh, I see, because Mac Catalyst isn't 14.2 and I still have Android in here for whatever reason. I thought I explicitly got rid of the Android head. Oh, no, Android head is still there. Oh, I don't have it up here. Yeah, that's okay. Let's change this to 14.2. Click save and see if we still get that. Ha! Goes away. Great. Okay. There we go. Okay. So here, when we initialize, right, we're going to initialize the view model with the parameters. It's going to do its initialization on the view model. Oh, wait. Ooh, spicy. Okay, we're going to try this. We're going to try and do this differently. We're going to do something really spicy. We're going to do this like this way. Boom. That might get weird. All right, so I realized what I was about to do was set up the disposal of the view model before I actually initialize the view model the way I want. I should actually also pass in those parameters in here, but that's a tomorrow problem. So also to do uh, pass. So I'm actually on the fence about that because I'm starting to think that the initialization of a view model shouldn't require uh, any parameters, and that anything that you would want parameters for, you should explicitly use like on navigated to. Like once the you shouldn't use it at the initialization step when before the view model actually gets bound to the page. You should do it as the view is spinning up. But I understand. So like I'm not gonna be the weird guy that says, "Oh no, you can't do it the way you want to." Um, so here we go. Okay, so now this will automatically add the disposal of the view model to the garbage. So that means that when we call the teardown, the garbage will be destroyed. iDestructible will get called at the point that the page gets teared down. So we'll be able to verify that. And let me just run this real quick just so that I know that I didn't break anything with trying to be too smart. Yeah, usage of that should be before the thing. So then why don't you just automatically do it for me, bro? Oops. I just realized that I have my Wi-Fi on and I'm not using my wired connection. Like these are the only moments where I wish I had music playing in the background, so we didn't have to sit here in silence. And I didn't feel the need to talk to break that silence. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, this branch doesn't have any of that stuff. Okay, so now the save shouldn't even be live at this point because the model is definitely not valid. So let's hit cancel and expected to hit the breakpoint and did not. Why though? Oh, here we go. Here's the teardown that happened a while ago. Womp, womp, womp. Did all that happen on the main thread? Oh, teardown should not happen on the main thread, I don't think. Well, that gets weird. Teardown gets called. Garbage should have a single thing in it. Result, it has a view model in it. This is the view model. The view model will get torn down as the page gets torn down. Beautiful. Okay, perfect. So that means this. So basically, what I'm doing at this point is I'm daisy chaining the garbage collection. So I'm setting garbage on the screen. Yeah. So I'm setting. I'm sorry. I had a thought that I'm like, oh, I should create a standard interface and do special stuff, but I'm like, I shouldn't do that. I'm not gonna do it right now. There's a garbage disposal here, um, and it will dispose of this garbage. This garbage gets the view model on construction, and then the view model get has its own garbage collector where it collects all the subscriptions and other disposable bits that it collects along the way. So I think what I want to do is I just want to create a a a interface, but the thing is that they're all protected, and I think that there's a new feature that allows me to do that or do something like that. I just haven't played with it, so shame on me. Okay, but now all of my disposal is wired up, so let me do this. Get status, get add, get commit. Wait. What did we change in the? Oh, we changed Catalyst version. Yep. Chore. No, I think this would be like a. Yeah, it's a chore. I'm sorry, it's a chore. Uh, um, implement destructible. Okay, so I'll come back to that commit and pull it out into a separate branch later, but now at least it's marked. So now I can go back to all my saving stuff. So close all the pin. So for the record, what I did right there was I basically just put a mile marker in my git commit history for a specific commit to pull out for a separate branch later. So when we talk about things like not having excessively large commits that have multiple pieces in them, right? It's all about how you decide to behave and how you decide to do the work, right? Like, what did you see me do? Before I went off on that tangent, I checked in all the code that I currently had, and then I explicitly went and made the change, and then I checked in the code that I changed specifically for that concern. And now, at any point I want, I can separate those two. I can separate that into another branch and pull request that up separately. Everybody wins. Because they're not connected, right? Like the fact that I wasn't disposing isn't necessarily the responsibility of adding the save functionality and behaviors. Imagine that. All right, so all my tests are still passing. I didn't mess anything up there. I don't know why I'm getting all of that extra. Probably need to invalidate my cat. Or no. Oh, okay. Let's just do this in the solution. See if that doesn't clean up some stuff. Definitely made some stuff better. All right. What's going on in? Oh, reference and we are referencing and importing the type. Now the question is, what version is it pinned to? That's probably what the problem is. We should have a Maui version. Do we not have a version? Thought I had. Oh, maybe I didn't do it in this one. I didn't. Eek. I am gonna get rid of all this though. I don't want any of this. I didn't do my better practices, and I don't think that I have the Maui version pinned. I should, cause yeah, no. This is using central package version, central package management. Where? So yeah, the Maui version. Oh, it wants to bump to 100 for whatever reason. So let's just bump it to 100, cause who cares? It's not like the feature that we're currently working on is anything. You know what? We're not going to do that because the feature we're currently working on has nothing to do with it. And what that seems like is we need to probably do .NET restore dash dash force dash dash no dash cache. You would think as much as I type that out, I would have an alias for it now, but I don't know. I was about to say I'm lazy, but a lazy person would create an alias. So I guess I like to work too hard for no reason. Yikes! What does that say about me? It says I'm gonna go create an alias sooner or later. All right, so added state tests. We now know that. Okay, so when we hit valid, and valid. Okay, so the save button. So the add command executes here. We call the CQRS bit. After we call the CQRS bit, I'm gonna have to figure out the timeout. So to do timeout, and then after the ad is successful, yeah, I think that's what we said we were gonna do. We're gonna do an add command dot subscribe to remind me to come back to look at this in a minute. All right, so we're gonna do add command dot subscribe. We're gonna say we're gonna cat. Oh wait, no, the command doesn't return anything of value. It just returns a unit. So the fact that it returns the unit, the add command. So now if it times out, okay, so I think the question in my mind is if it times out, is it the responsibility? Ooh, spicy. We can have it so that that we have the return value. Oh man, that actually isn't too bad of an idea. We instead of it being a unit for the return value, we can have the return value be the state that we want to. No, because that's not how it works. And if we're going to return the state, you know what? No, I do like that approach. I think I'm going to stick with that approach. Um, so this is going to return the state. All right, it's going to return the state, and then we're going to fire. Oh no 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 no! I see. I need to just fire a trigger as a result. So I need to return the trigger, not the state. That's where my brain is crapping out right now. Okay, so this thing will return the trigger, and yeah, I know you're broken. Let's do. Come on. You can do it. All right, so now it return. Why are we still not happy? Oh, property command. These things. There we go. Add command. Boom. This now becomes that. There we go. So saving it. Add command subscription. We're going to subscribe, and we're just going to say whatever this trigger is. We are going to do state machine dot fire async on the trigger. Boom. I'm actually likely going to create an RX thing or operator that just fires the trigger, like trigger something or other. Oh, I'm so good at this. I put the right keywords in the wrong places. There we go. Select many. Why are you complaining? Oh, this one was only a select. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe I'm just too smart for my own good these days. Because it works, but I'm not used to it working like that. So, okay. So, whatever returns from the add command will just fire a trigger. So now you're just going to say, well, Rodney, why don't you just fire the trigger in the command? Well, because the command isn't add and fire trigger. It just adds. And then whatever result happens from the add, downstream things do their work. That's why. Anyway, jokes. I'm going to return save, because that's the... No. Oh, this is where we... Okay, so I have a load, I have a save trigger, I have a validated trigger, I have a failure trigger. So now I need a trigger that goes from... Yeah. I need a trigger that goes... that takes me from valid to complete. Oh, we're going to click... No. Valid. because it won't know which way to get. Like, yeah, this is. I'm actually surprised that my unit tests would pass right now. I would think that they would fail because this configuration actually is not valid. Oh, oh yeah, there we go. Should be just be. It should just be add medicine trigger save question mark. Here's the fun part. So the way that this machine is configured, when I'm in the valid state, I click save, it'll go to completed, or it'll go to failed. There's no rhyme or reason as to why, so this is likely going to fail when I try and exercise this. Whatever. Um, so I'm invalid. I, oh, okay, here we go. So now here's the $64,000 question. How am I thinking about getting from valid? Oh, I want to go back to busy. Okay. I want save on valid. That's what it is. Okay. Ugh, I gotta go test more things. Gotta write more tests. More tests. More tests. All right. So let's go write that test real quick. So should be in failed. So given stuff, when things, then more stuff. So all right. So given what state would I be in? I would be in given invalid state when we save, then we should be in initial state. Is that how that's going to work? Let me think about this. Let me go back to the state machine and think. Oh, we want to go to busy. Yeah, so the save is likely going to go directly to busy. So save should go to busy. And then what gets us out of busy? Load? Oh, that seems bad. No. I don't know. Okay, so okay. So there's a conversation that I had with my coworker earlier this week about how we should be doing these states, and I'm just going to do an example of how the state should likely look, right side by side with it, so that I don't have to oh, all right. So there should be an initial state. There should likely be a busy state. There should be. Oh, sorry, it's not states that I care about. It's triggers that I care about. So let's do triggers real quick. So triggers 2.0. All right. So really, there should be like a forward trigger, which goes forward in the workflow. Advances the state machine, right? And then there should be a backwards, right? So like I want to go back. So like in a workflow scenario, you'd have like a forward and a back in terms of like if you're like looking at a wizard view, right? So that's the concept of it. But to have a single forward command, right? So at any given state, when you trigger forward to go to the next state, if your machine is as linear as that, right? Because it may not be, then you just go forward. So at a certain point, I have validated and I want to go forward, but the reality of it is that I don't want to go forward. I want to go to I want to complete. So we're not going to do this. That's exactly why we did that exercise, so we can verify that we are not the crazy one, at least not for this. So really what we want is we want to trigger. We don't have one for complete. Okay. Good. Should be an initial state. So given invalid state invalid state, not invalid state. Yikes. Okay, so this is actually going to be in complete. We're going to have to change that to completed, right? Because that is the state. And we're going to need a trigger that says finish. Yeah, we'll just leave it complete. Complete. Yeah, we'll just keep it simple. All right, so that means that if we go back to our state machine, we should have. All right, so we're invalid. We click save. Save should go to busy. From busy, I don't know if this is right, but we're going to do this anyway. From busy, because I would assume that we're going to put it in the busy state because we're going to immediately do some IO. So busy state is the IO state. I'm not going to do it, but oh, do I want to. F2 refactor. So we're going to be, it's going to be not saved. So we're going to go from busy to complete and from complete to completed. Right? So that means we should never go, okay. Yeah. I think this is right. Save goes to busy. So we'll go from, all right, so we'll go from valid to we'll go from valid. We'll save. Save will go to busy. All right, so, okay. This gets weird. All right, this gets weird. So in our add, we're going to do it slightly different now. Or are we? I don't think we are. I think we're going to do it like this. Await underscore state machine dot fire async save. Save will take us to busy, right? So now, if I go back to my ViewModel tests, pin these two. It's an add command when add. So the command is actually going to be add. So here we go. Let's delete those things. And we're going to do system under test dot add command dot execute. Yeah, it's going to new schedule medication fixture. Ha. All right, so what that is going to do is that's going to put us at adding the command, executing based upon the fixture. We still need to set up all these bits, right? Because we need all the stuff from the previous test. So this is where I'm getting to the point where I'm copying and pasting a whole lot of code, and it's starting to like dig under my skin because I don't really like to copy and paste as much code, like ever. Eek, don't do that. Right, so all that should just be in the given. All that's given. So we click add command, and currently this is going to put it in busy, I think. At least for the interim. Once we get done with this, we won't be able to test this transition the same. And that's where I think the snapshot testing will come in valuable, because I'll be able to test the transition. And you know what? I'm actually going to do exactly that. I'm going to go dig into snapshot testing and see if snapshots, and use it to test state machine transitions. And I'm going to write a blog about that. Rodney, you're a computer person and you have all of these computers. Why don't you put it on the computer? I'll write it on a piece of paper, come back to it later. I'm still old enough to have like actually had penmanship in school. And my penmanship was not good, but I had it. I'm thinking that's what it's going to end up being. And that. I expect a test to fail. What? Given. Let's say it has a fact on it, so it's not picking it up though. Oh, because it's. I'm so smart. I'm so good at this. Okay. So now that makes sense. I'm like, why is it not showing my test? Oh, because I have it set to not look at the tests. All right, so all my tests pass. So eventually I think that that's going to change. All right, so now I know that that part works, right? I will fire. I'm likely going to write a. Okay, I'll come back to that because that's a lot of excess code that I don't really like just sitting around, but it's a later problem. So just like in my initialize, I trigger save, and when I'm done, I trigger complete. And now, if I go back to my tests, this likely fails. Hey, what do you know? No, it's not the same test. Oh, yeah, this is a different test. This should be complete. That should get imported as a. Oh, I see. The result of the command. Then it fires. Okay, I'm okay with that for now. So now that all those tests should pass. Green lights. Okay, great. All right, so I'm testing the various triggers that I just added. All right. All right. So now valid goes to save, save takes it to busy, busy can then complete, and then I can be in completed. And when I hit completed, ooh, spicy. I can do it that way. After it's saved, I can call the 8 usages. How many usages are internal to the view model? Back command. Well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to see if this ends up giving us a object dispose exception is what we're looking for. I'm feeling it's going to happen. So, oh, I need to wire up the completed state. So now it should be underscore state machine dot configure completed on entry async underscore wait back dot execute unit dot default. Oh, wait a minute. that gets weird. I remember now that that gets really weird when I do that. How do I have it wired up in the other state machine? Let's go look. Because there's no rule that says that I can't look at code I've already written. Oh, I just called the navigator directly. Mm, that's fine. Instead of calling the actual back command itself, I'm going to go be a good steward and verify that I did this the way that I was supposed to, because I know I didn't. I know I didn't. Yeah, here we go. So now I'm going to go do, ooh, even spicier. This is a local function, but this one can't be because I want to reuse it. Oh, that's, hmm, hmm. Okay, that's a thing. That's a thing I could do. I'm not going to do it, but I could do it. What I was thinking was is I could change it so that the configure machine takes in the delegate required in order to do the thing, but I think that that's a little bit too much for where I want to be right now. Um, Actually, not how that's gonna work, but that's fine. I understand that you think that that's what I wanted you to do. I don't need this to be static. I don't need it to be a function. I just actually just needed to be. Wow, okay. It C sharp went in on my behalf. Okay, there we go. Execute back. And then in my state machine, when I enter, I can just do execute back. So my view model, because it has knowledge of my private bits, can do that, but my view has to bind through the command, which is perfectly okay in my tiny little pea brain. Okay, so if I go back to the tests and run all these tests, all this should still pass. Everybody's happy. So now, when it's completed, it'll go back. I want to delay that a couple of. I actually think that what I'm going to do is a success toast first. Yeah, we did say we were going to do that, didn't we? So let's do that. Let's. Wait, do we check in code, get status? What are we doing? What are we oh. Okay. So where's my brain? Now my brain is trying to figure this out. I want to add an interaction, so I'm going to go to the failed interaction. I'm going to do a completed interaction. I'm going to produce a toast message, which is a record with a string. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to say this thing. I'm going to call this completed interaction dot handle toast message. And I'm going to say that the medication has been saved. There we go, right? Because that's what we want to say. And then I'm going to go test. Let's do completed. And I'm going to do fix formatting problem. That's going to be there. Okay. So now, based on the completed interaction, I need to go back to my... Well, no, let me test it first. Pretty sure I have tests for that. So let's go look for those tests and copy one of them tests. State tests. Okay, so when... Oh, no. That's not how that works. Let's go back and look at these usages again. Can we open them in Open Find Tool? Okay, here we go. So where we do move, here we go. Here's one test. Okay, so these are the two tests that I currently have. This only tests that the interaction does things. It doesn't verify. Actually, you know what? Let me not make assumptions. And instead, let me go to where it's used. We configure it here, and we send in the toast message. So medication has been saved, goes in, and I would ask whom that it gets handled. Let me actually, I haven't tested an interaction. There's supposed to be two sides to testing an interaction, so I'm going to go verify that I know what I'm talking about. I've been looking at, right. I can do that, I can do that, okay. So testing, I can do register handler. Okay, so you can easily test the interaction logic in the ViewModel by registering the handler for the interaction. Okay. You know what? Let's stop caring and fail the test, right? All that. I'm trying to be smart. Okay. So I mean, yeah, we know that should be complete. Yeah, I need to standardize my test names. Nullable property, nullable what? Wait, what? And I'm going to clean up all these assignments. current state to be but found it in busy. Oh, because we haven't wired that up yet. No, we did. Debug. I have no idea how long I've been going for now. Just an hour and a half. That's actually not that bad. Okay, so okay, so now I am clearly doing something wrong. Did the ad, we're waiting, creating a scheduled medication fixture. So we definitely do the ad bits, right? We are doing the ad bits. Okay, we fire that. State machine fires. Okay, we fire save. We complete. Okay, so whatever I did, whatever I did, and you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, okay, now my brain is like, wait a minute, you don't need all these interactions, you just need one. Yeah, we're about to change that up in a minute too. Refactor. The add command is clearly doing something. We are executing the add command. The add command executes. We don't get a downstream value from the add command. And we are doing execute add here. We do the task. The trigger returns. We are subscribed to the add command. Don't fully understand why these select menus aren't working on these commands. What? Oh, maybe I need to configure await true. Okay. Expected it to be completed but found busy. We are explicitly supposed to be. Oh, does test not wait for? Oh, ooh, Carlos spicy wiener here. That's why. Yes, that was a Family Guy reference. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that, so hopefully they don't come yell at me for liking their jokes. All right, let's see if this works. Still no buenos. Huh. Add command. I'm executing the command. I'm passing the valid thing. Okay, so at this point it's valid. We click the add command. The add command is executing. The current state isn't going to completed. Why is it? why are we not getting the return value from the execute function? Conjunction. Does it actually hit that? I don't know. Did I see it hit that breakpoint? Let's think about that. Get rid of all the breakpoints along the way. That breakpoint can go away because we don't care. That one can go away. So it does this. Returns it. All right, I'm going to teach you an ancient debugging technique. Okay, so it's hitting that. We already know that. Ha. F9. Okay, so it should hit there. Debug it again. Okay, so subscribe on the command is not doing anything. I should get a value back from it when it executes. Given given a scheduled medication, when add, then it should be in the completed state. Yeah, I'm gonna rerun it just so that I can pick up the name change. I don't fully comprehend what's going on here. Okay. I am gonna probably go get some water and some coffee and get off the stream and come back and look at this with fresh eyes in about 10 minutes because clearly I am doing something incorrect, but I don't see what it is that I'm doing incorrectly. And that likely means that my eyes are just tired and I need to stretch my legs. So this has been interesting. I got a little bit further along. I've gotten to the point where I'm at least testing the interaction, so that's good. I haven't actually wired up any of the pieces to the actual add command, so I'll probably do some of that a little bit later. And I appreciate you for watching if you get a chance. Till next time.